Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Even Keel Fish Shack, now with 2 locations, Lauderdale by the Sea and the new spot on Las Olas.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Beefo, and Luby, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. It's a Tuesday, and we are downtown, Las Olas Boulevard, the hip and trendy, premier shopping and dining district of Fort Lauderdale, and we're with our friends Brad and Dave at Even Kee, Las Olas. A lot of people don't realize that this place opened up in the last year. It was last December that they debuted the second location, and again, the original Even Keel Fish Shack is Lauderdale by the Sea in your neck of the woods, Jeff Tifo DeForest. But we're here now around the corner from my new homestead. It's less than 5 minutes to drive here, which is pretty good. I could walk, but really, what's the point of doing that? So
Yeah, you'd much rather deal with the hassle of parking. But
well, there's plenty of parking.
You should walk, Mayo. You should walk.
I should.
You should give it a try.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get as loaded.
What do you say, Louie? Should you walk here?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
A little
you should walk,
schwitz, maybe? You don't want to
especially
mess
out
up the
here.
hair.
It's like nice walking out. in
Yeah,
Las
it's
Olas.
beautiful out today.
Well, we're going to be partaking in some good seafood. It's seafood month, and Jim Sarney will be happy to see that I'm partaking with more seafood dishes every day. It also happens to be the start of stone crab season today, but I don't think they got any in here just yet, because what happens is today's the day where the traps are officially allowed to be pulled up. And some fish markets, maybe our friends at Delaware, might get a late afternoon shipment fresh out of the sea and Gulf and Florida Bay. But here, most restaurants, if they're serving stone crabs today, it usually means they're back tucked away in the freezer.
Supposedly, I saw a news story that possibly these hurricanes somehow affected the stone crab harvest, if you will, and that the prices may be affected by that. So
Well,
we don't know.
It's a lot of the stone crab fishermen are on the Gulf Coast, north of Tampa. That Cedar Key area has a lot of
Then it makes
fishing.
sense.
Oh, Jesus.
And the thing is, some of them are just not even concerned about getting the traps up yet. They're just concerned about restoring
finding
their
their boat.
homes. Yeah, well, getting fuel for their boats, getting boats repaired. Some of them, fled to different ports and before the storm. So there's a little bit of uncertainty.
So
Now,
a pricey item could be even
pricey.
more costly.
It's always
Let's
the
hope not. I mean,
beginning of the season.
because
Well,
the prices had spiked to a level that you thought, I mean, and everybody, the people we know are charging a fair price, but a market price. But how those two words go together, market price. And it was already getting a little prohibitive last year.
Well, what happens is the beginning of the season when there's pent up demand and everybody wants to get those stone crabs for the first weekend of the season and for their football game. So the price usually gets, a little bit higher. And again, now with the supply unknown, we'll know more Thursday. We're going to be at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market.
Well, if you could find them
Jose-
at a good price, that's a great place to
Yeah,
go.
no, and we're
Yes.
going to be sampling some if they have. I'm sure they'll have in by Thursday because, again, the traps are being pulled today. I think a lot of the Keys and the southern coast fishermen are pulling up lots of traps, and supposedly the reports were good that they are catching plenty of crabs. It seems like the stone crab population is doing okay. So maybe in our neck of the woods, the supply issues won't be as readily pronounced as on the West Coast and the Tampa area. Although over there, I don't know if anybody's thinking about stone crabs if you're dealing with storm damage and trying to get electricity and getting our homes rebuilt. But we'll see. And, there's other fish in the sea out there besides stone crab too. But
There you go.
Meanwhile, I'm not feeling my best today.
Why not?
But I don't know. I have some sort of bug that's kind of both Val and I the last week. It's been kind of coming and going. Today,
Whatever's going around, you always manage to catch it.
before the show today, in true hypochondriac style, but I think it's also responsible. I took a COVID test because I knew we were going to be in close quarters with you and Luby.
You weren't worried about me and Louie.
No, he was.
I
Actually,
was.
I don't give a crap.
And
if
it
he gets
came
a
up
COVID.
negative, but I've been just
He
Just this
doesn't want you to
morning,
get sick.
I felt like I run over by a truck.
See, you
I
should have walked here.
couldn't wake
You
up.
should have walked here.
Nauseous, just not in the best of ways. And for a second, Defoe, I was thinking about maybe
No, scratch.
before anybody faints like me, maybe we should just play music and I'll dance for 39 minutes today.
I didn't see that, but I mean, it's the last of many atrocities that you need to take in. If anybody's undecided, imagine, I mean, you're going to
I'm
the
not
polls.
here to sway anybody's mind. I'm just amazed. I marvel every day about where we are in this country and the fact that one of our candidates could be Donald Trump again. I'm surprised we're not hearing more of the whole convicted felon theme, because that seems to have just dropped by the wayside. But I'm not a political strategist. I'm just a single voter, and I know I'm going to be voting, probably early voting. How about you? Do you have a method that you prefer, Defoe? Do you like going?
I like going to the poll the day of the
day
election.
of.
Yes.
And what about?
I want to know that my vote was in there and that there's no shenanigans or whatever. That I went and I saw the thing go right into the chute there.
I was going to ask Luby how he votes, but he walked away. Luby's on the verge of celebrating a very big birthday.
Oh yeah.
He also
When's your
looks
birthday,
slightly
kid?
concerned. Are we okay? Are we? He doesn't know. He's shrugging. When I get the Luby shrug, it means
I don't know. My phone connection's not great out here, so I can't monitor us. And people are saying we're frozen, which is never my dream.
okay.
So I'm trying to back up the Wi-Fi with my own Wi-Fi, and hopefully that will get things rocking and rolling. Not sure what the heck's going on, to be brutally honest.
We'll
but
keep going, I guess, unless we want to just
we can
wait
try
and reload
breaks.
with the
We can try
hotspot.
spots.
You know what? Let's take our first break
Yeah.
because we're waiting for Brad and Dave. They're going to bring out some food. We're at 1111 East Las Olas, and it's a great place. We'll talk more about it when we come back after these words on the Lunchbox. From a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar. A great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, Even Keel Fish Shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, and also now with a new location on Las Olas Boulevard. Those are my spots. Upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and lFish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have daily happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligan's, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
One of the best restaurants in Broward, J&C Oyster in downtown Hollywood. At 2035 Harrison Street, this place is fantastic and worth a drive. It's got creative, cutting-edge seafood and more with an Asian twist and gorgeous cocktails. Chefs Raheem Seeley and Monica Dominguez cut their teeth at some of Miami's best restaurants. Don't miss some of these fantastic dishes, including grilled oysters, fried chicken, and the Thai red curry crab. Open Wednesday through Sunday for dinner with daily happy hour and outdoor seating. Go to jncoyster.com for reservations and information. Tell him Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, welcome back to the Lunchbox. And it seems like YouTube is working fine, but for some reason Facebook isn't. So I don't know if the gremlins
I don't know
are
what to do with that.
attacking Zuckerberg.
You love to blame me, but there's nothing.
No, I'm not.
can
I
do
didn't
with-
blame Luby.
Well, I'm saying
It's
don't
birthday week.
take the blame. You can
There's
blame
nothing but love.
me. I don't know. I don't have magic to say. Okay,
Well,
here's especially if we want to pick one. Facebook is definitely where we'd rather be.
Here's what I think, Default. Let's get a soundtrack out and play 39 minutes of music, and I really will dance
No, don't
the
do
whole hour away.
that. That's not enough.
Brad and Dave, I think, are in the kitchen cooking.
Yes.
They were going to join us. And so the deal here at Even Keel Las Olas is this. They are open every day for happy hour. I believe it's beginning at 4:30. And then they do their dinner service. And then they have weekend brunch. It might be a Sunday brunch. We'll get all the lowdown and the 411 from them in a minute. Everybody I've sent here, and it's, again, located heart of Las Olas. So much good stuff down here, but people didn't realize that they opened up a second location, Default. I don't know if you had occasion to dine down here yet. You stay close to home, right?
No, I come here a couple of times for the show. I used to be a big Las Olas guy. I was telling Brad, I can't believe it had to be over 30 years ago. There was a place, Mario's, he used to like, a little Italian joint. And O'Hara's, of course, was a classic. But haven't been as frequently to Las Olas. There's so many other areas now that are in closer proximity that have, I don't know, not exactly the same types of places, but as you said, second location of Even Keel Fish Shack, and just a lot of more locations than there used to be, where you can find 15, 20 outstanding restaurants all grouped in a small radius of space.
A cluster, but this is the place you go for the creative seafood that's in kind of also the same as the beach location, just casual. You don't have to get dressed up. You don't have to even put on long pants. You can come here and sit out on the terrace that overlooks the canal here. It's really pleasant waterfront dining. I was in here a week ago or so with Val and a friend of hers who was in from out of town, and Dave was in the kitchen cooking, and he's got some new items here that I was just blown away by. You see a lot of this crispy rice with like spicy tuna on top. Well, he's doing like a version of crispy rice with salmon, kind of a minced salmon, and it was very, very tasty. He also is doing a version of like the Thai kind of coconut mussels, similar to what we had yesterday at Southport. And once again, congrats to Buddy and Noy and the whole crew there at Southport. They're going to be having their big 50th anniversary bash on Thursday. Meanwhile, there's some other events that have been announced coming up this week. Tomorrow, our friend Evan Darnell with his Red Meat Lovers Club is having a Pinktober, I guess, for Women's and Breast Cancer Awareness Month. They're having a dinner up at Oceans 234, which I believe is in Deerfield Beach. And Dave and Brad from Even Keel are good friends with the owners and the chef up there. So you could go online to the redmeatloversclub.com, rmlc.com, and check out the tickets. And always a very first-class production anytime our man Evan gets involved with something. So that's tomorrow. And then I saw that Tom Tanazzini has re-signed for a return engagement to Lavello's in Coral Springs. Maybe this time you could
I'm
get
gonna
up
get
there.
out there. Yeah.
Monday, November 11th, Veterans Day. He'll be doing another pop-up. They're usually closed on Mondays at Lavello, but Bruno, the chef owner there, nice enough to turn over his kitchen to one Tom T. And this time they're going to go a little bit more on the po' boy side of the street instead of last time he was doing all kinds of really nice entrees and all kinds of traditional, the Creole Cajun dishes, the gumbos and whatnot. But this time I think they're going to get into the roast beef po' boys, the debris, fried oysters and all that stuff. So Tom T, we wish him well. Always good to see him getting some pop-up gigs because the man, he's too talented to keep tied up, and just staying at home. He loves to cook, so that's all good. All right, meanwhile, talking about cooking, how about those Mets, Defo? What do you think?
Glad they came back. I was surprised. Somebody sent me a text yesterday. A friend of mine said, "Hey, the Mets are up 6-0." I didn't even know where they were playing. I thought they had a night game last night. I'm like home at 4:00. Let me turn this on. Let's go Mets, man. I'd love to see it happen. I do have to report though. There was a review of the show from a couple of weeks ago when you had that Met flapper hat on.
Oh yeah,
and I guess it was quite comical that only one flap worked.
Yes, it was. Well, it's a very old flapping hat. And here we got Brad coming in. We got, this is, speak of not the devil. This is the beautiful food.
Yeah, come on in.
Come on in. Sit down and make yourself at home as usual. But we've got the crispy salmon, crispy rice with salmon that I was talking about.
This is actually some tuna. That we just got today.
Okay.
For a special dinner we're doing tomorrow. And so I took all the belly and scraped all the belly for you. And so we did. Yeah. The tuna with the crispy rice and the spicy mayo and a little pickled jalapeno on
You
top.
are inventive. All right. Well, welcome back to the show, Brad.
Thanks for having me.
What's going on?
We got a bunch of stuff going on. So we actually have a really nice wine dinner that we're doing tonight to pair with our $2 oyster night for Tuesdays. We've got they're filming Deco Drive over at Fish Shack today for the Seafood Fest.
So you got a double header.
I'm leaving straight from here to go on camera over there.
What time are they?
5 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's because you're taking part like the Southeast
in the Seafood Fest.
Festival
Right.
What's
the
that, next
25th.
weekend? Yeah.
Right. The Chef Showdown. So we've got that on the 25th. I think that's my fun.
Yeah, that's all right. Are you going against a particular restaurant?
The Rusty Pelican.
Rusty Pelican. Okay.
Rusty Pelican. So that's the 25th.
Do you know what the line on that is, Defo? I say they're favored by 2 and a half.
That's a tough matchup.
She's a 4. I think she's won 3 times in a row, 3 years in a
Really?
row. So yeah,
Who gets to vote? Are there like judges?
Yeah, there's
or
4 judges. So I'm going to be on stage doing it for 4 judges, and then there's a popular vote down on the floor.
What time is this happening?
This is we're filming Deco Drive today, but the 25th.
Oh, okay.
Down in South Beach.
They do it on the beach, right?
Yeah. Apparently, we've never been before, so we're just we're going in there blind, but confident, kind of how we normally roll. We don't really know what we're doing. We just we know how to cook some decent food. So
I like your chances.
Thanks, man.
I actually went to a couple of those the first couple of years that they held it. I think it's been going on since about 2016 or 17. I had a friend that lived down there. And at first it was just kind of like a celebration of the return of stone crab season, which by the way is today. And I think at one point they had like Joe Stone Crab was involved and then would come out with a whole bunch of stone crabs.
Yeah.
That they would sell a la carte. But it's turned into a nice little seafood festival.
Seems like it's going to be we're filming Deco Drive. Like we kind of fell upon the opportunity to do it, and they're pulling out all the stops. We had to go down to do like a production meeting down in South Beach where they did some promo stuff, and then the Deco Drive thing today. It should be quite the. Feel like 1,500 people I think is getting invited.
Obviously, you are well involved every year with Phil and Kate and the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. Have you done anything with the South Beach Wine and Food Festival?
We did Oyster Fest last year. We did the Oyster Fest. That's a continuous thing for us. I think we're already got invited back to do that again for this next year. Now, if we kind of want to open the door up a little bit to doing some more some more stuff outside of that. But it is, I mean, it's us being from Fort Lauderdale that go down to Miami to do that. It's still a pretty awesome opportunity.
It's good marketing, especially now that you're on Las Olas. Get Miami people
Right.
do come up here occasionally, especially downtown
Right.
Lauderdale.
Right.
Are you getting the word out? Because I know you guys, it's a little bit less than a year. You opened last December here, right?
Yeah.
And,
February, like around February is when like we full on to open. But
okay, right.
But you know, this summer, I think for every restaurant, especially in this area, especially specifically on Las Olas, was a very, very tough year.
It was tough.
But like competition wise, but we're still hanging in there strong. We're very, very confident that we're gonna continue to move forward, and nothing's gonna change what we stand for and
The
and
food
what we wanna
product,
do.
the quality, the beverage program, the cocktails, it's all outstanding. Everybody that I know that has been here, that I've sent here, and we've now that I'm living like practically around the corner, I've been in here a couple of times, and I've never had a bad meal or a bad bite. Even. Everything is always good. So
It's just about getting people to come in. So we have some stuff up our sleeve. Like I said, Dave's doing a great job of leading the way here when it comes to all things food and beverage. So he's got some events planned for the very near future that's hopefully going to drive some more business here. But again, I mean, we're very, very happy and confident in what we do, and all we got to do is get somebody in the door, and we've got them. Hooked.
I think I got the hours right. You basically are open for happy hour and dinner during the week, and
Monday through Saturday, and then we open for brunch on Sunday.
Sunday brunch starts what time? At 11? Noon.
12 o'clock. Yep.
And then so the happy hour starts at 4 or
4 to 7.
4 to 7.
4 to 7.
Every
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday,
and then
happy hour.
Then it's a really, really straightforward dinner service on Saturday, and then we get the Sunday brunch on Sunday, and then we're going to start hopefully getting some entertainment too. So maybe maybe a DJ for brunch on Sundays, some kind of live music entertainment. Also maybe on Saturday and Friday nights, maybe if we deem it
during season. Any thought of having a weekend brunch on Saturday as well?
Yeah, I think that's going to be an opportunity. There's going to be an opportunity there.
Okay.
And the cool thing for us too is we're still working through like inventive ways to kind of change. Everybody does brunch on Las Olas. So what do we do that makes us stand out besides our quality of food and service that we have? So we're just throwing ideas around, and that'll be upcoming.
Diving competition into the canal.
Yeah. That'll probably be me. I'll probably put the bathing suit on and go snorkeling for channel catfish or something. I don't know.
And the thing is, it's you got the big signage out front now, looking great. People can't miss it when they're walking by. It's just you got to get down the stairs and come on up.
It's a thing. It's kind of a thing. But again, us being the new kids on the block, it's just something we're going to work through. We'll figure it out.
I think you're going to break through this season.
I think this season is going to be really strong for here and for Fish Shack too.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be.
It used to be if you build it, they'll come. If you cook it and you cook it well, they're going to come. Especially on Las Olas, because there's. I don't want to denigrate anybody else, but when you're able to rise above the others with the quality and the creativity of your food, it should stand out.
Yeah, there's no short. There's no cutting corners. There's no any of that kind of stuff. We stick to our guns and try and provide the best thing that we possibly can for everybody.
And it's not just seafood, even though that is the specialty here. Because last time I was here, Dave had debuted this arroz con pollo. It was like a chicken and rice dish.
He's kind of working through that. He's been it's been fantastic. Looks great.
I love it.
Little half roasted chicken on top of the rice and all that kind of stuff. And then our smash burgers that people are starting to really take off as far as popularity goes. But we've got a little something for everybody. And not to mention our beverage program too is here is just as fantastic as the food.
And if you know, you got the
that's right.
You got the some classic Fort Lauderdale favorites that are on the menu, including a prickly pear margarita. And now that Canyon has gone by the wayside entirely,
it's kind of sad, but
it is. But
it is what it is. That's the competition. That's the time. That's the age that we're in. So
it's not an easy time.
No.
And I guess also now, it just seems like we're turning a corner, because today it's one of the favorite days of the year, because you say there's like 27 seasons in South Florida with the growing and stuff. I say there's 2. There's stone crab season and not stone crab season.
So I don't know if we just got an update. So today was the first day to be able to pull traps. We're getting stone crab tomorrow.
Nice.
There was a little bit of hesitation because of the storms and all that stuff. We just heard from our producer, Vinny Stone Crabs, amazing friend. I've been friends with Dean's for the last 20 years, but he's our stone crab guy now. Yeah, they're pulling traps tonight. The availability is limited, but we put in our pre-order early enough to where
You'll get some.
we're gonna have stone crab here and at the Fish Shack,
Both
at
locations.
both locations tomorrow.
Our price is looking unfavorable because the supply is kind of dinged by the storms.
Let's see. No, it's about the same as what it ended last year with. I'll give you.
Okay. And
Let's
this is
see.
the restaurant pricing.
This is
obviously,
the restaurant pricing. Let's see. Where's Vinny? Okay.
There he goes.
So he's got. So we're looking around 30 for medium, 34 for large, 50 for jumbos, and then 55.
And that's for a
colossal.
serving. You give a couple claws.
Yeah. That's per pound. That's per pound.
Oh, that's not bad.
Right. No.
Mediums for 30 are fine.
Right. That's kind of how the last season ended last year.
Yeah, I mean, because there are times where when it gets really thin, sometimes the mediums are up to 35,
Right.
40. So,
and for everybody out there, our markup, we barely make any money on
really?
stone crabs. Yeah, it's just
Just wanted to get people in.
they're already so expensive, so you can't. I know some places, I mean, some super high end places want to charge $70-$80 a claw for colossals. Well, that's not what we're gonna do. We usually run mediums and large, and sometimes we'll get some jumbos. We'll leave the jumbos and the colossals to everybody else, but that's because they're not affordable. You know what I mean?
It's nice that you do that. You don't want to. It's not necessarily a lost leader, but you just you want to give people a taste, and you want to be able to be made whole and all that.
Dave and I are trying to come up with some kind of all you can eat scenario with stone crab.
Yes. Jesus.
Yeah. So keep that'll
Oysters worked out
that'll be in the wing. That'll be in the wings maybe down the road. We just got to figure out a way to where we don't go bankrupt.
I don't know. That's a tricky one.
It is.
Meanwhile, Defoe, his famous line. Well, first of all, he stone crabs. We started off when we came to Florida. I came in the late 80s. He was in the early 80s, and it was, priced. It seemed to be more abundant and more affordable. And now I still love them, but Defoe says that the stone crab, what's more overrated, Bryce Harper or the stone crab? And I don't see Bryce Harper playing anymore.
Are we talking this year or just in general? Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. Are you a Phillies fan? I didn't know you were a Phillies fan.
No. We were thinking he was a horrible player for the money, but then he won an MVP. I used to buy him off a guy who was 5 pounds of jumbos for $75.
Okay.
$15 a pound. It was unbelievable. And fresh right out of the ocean. The guy just came by, and that was great. But they really started to escalate, maybe 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah. We've been really dealing, since the restaurant. Fish, Even Keel's really been open, coming up on 6 years now. But but yeah, it's just, I know.
Crazy.
That's when we opened the original spot.
Yeah,
on Las
Federal.
Olas.
Yeah, on Federal.
So tonight, finally,
I used to love that. This summer after ACL, when I ACL in football, my football career is over. I
mean, these guys are out there, they're making millions of dollars, but they earn a penny.
Right.
That's for sure.
Right.
So where's that market?
Well, I think we do a lot of Alaskan crab. I know last year, was it 2 years ago? Yeah, get it from they so there's that. It's continuous. It's all about sustainability, folks. So it's over do it to make sure continue to, we're going to be able to eat crab. It's kind of out of control.
You 3-foot waves that are like.
No, I'll probably if I would have survived the throwing up part continuously because I do actually get extremely seasick. It would have been probably fun to throw some crab pots around.
That would not be a good thing. No, be seasick.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine with no end in sight either. You eventually goes away.
Let me ask you, as a chef and an eater, what do you think of stone crabs? Because you can't really play around and cook it in anything.
So actually, Dave and I for this dinner that we were doing tomorrow, which has got like a Mexican theme to it, we're gonna make stone crab beignets. Yeah, it's gonna be here.
Okay.
I don't know if we have any seats available.
Stone crab nachos.
We're gonna do stone. Here's the thing. It's still crab. It's very which is kind of crazy considering the warm water that it comes from. The reason people don't do a lot of different stuff with it, in my opinion, is that number one is it's extremely expensive. And number two is it's kind of hard to work with. You've got to crack the shells and you've got to work through. You got to pick all the meat off. But I think it's more or less kind of one of those things where it's like you just, when you think of South Florida and you think of seafood, it's one of those items where it's like, I'm just going to get that and I'm a little honey mustard,
Right.
and then that's going to be it. You know,
the classic sauce, the mustard sauce, and it's one of those minimalism things. It's just like, don't get in the way. That's like pretty much perfect the way I created it. And then, but I guess as a chef, there's a lot of different crab out there. You got the blue crab, you got the king crab, you got the Dungeness crab.
We've made our grilled cheese that we do here. That's one of our signature items with little brie and truffle. We've done stone crab grilled cheeses where we've taken 2-day-old crab claws and broken them up and put them on a sandwich and served them with the marmalade, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's actually a little bit better than the blue crab because it's got all that sweetness to it,
right?
So the sweetness with the savory of the cheese and the aromaticness of the truffle oil. It's very versatile. Again, it's just one of those things. I think it's just so expensive that it's like foie gras,
right?
Or like, what are you how much do you really want to mess with it that much to where you're changing the totality of the actual item,
But do you ever get other crabs in? Do you get Dungeness in?
Well,
you try to stick with local,
when I was last time I did fresh Dungeness, I was actually still 30-30 when Dean got it from incredible. I think we kind of see possible from the West Coast, which is fun, but for the most part, everything else that we use in restaurants as far as
that's why everything tastes so good. And come back and see what else is cooking. And before we do, let me just remind everybody, you guys have been good friends to the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. I can't believe it's already, and it means that right after Christmas and New Year's, it's going to be going on that second week. And the other events are the Granting Saturday and that Front Park, A1A, Boulevard. I assume you guys are again.
Thinking about that, and I've got a lot of for it is the great pump. And now it's like I said, we woke up 2 years ago
in the 50s.
It was gonna be, we decided to make hot soup, and not only was it's actually a very, very went along.
Right. And the thing is, if the weather, if the dish fits,
if the dish fits.
Yeah.
So I think we might be bringing that back sometime soon. So everybody out there,
the weather report shows it's going to be 85 degrees in January.
We'll probably do something else. But it's just funny how a lot of those beachside events, everybody does ceviche. Everybody's doing ceviche or poke or something tartare or something on that route. So I think we want to.
And everybody zigs, you zag.
That's right. That's kind of our mantra.
Full schedule on tap. Go online to visit Lauderdale Food Wine, VLFood.com. Get your tickets. Check out all the events. Going to be some really good ones. Some intimate dinners around town the early part of the week. The cocktail competition Wednesday night. The Asian themed walk and roll Thursday night. New wrinkle for the barbecue battle this year. I'm really looking forward to it because they're moving it outside to a location on the Intracoastal and Las Olas. It's a park area that there's going to be live fire smoking going on for 24 hours the way God intended barbecue to be. It's going to be a lot of fun on that Friday night. We might do our live stream show on that Friday night. We'll see. But again, VLFoodWine.com. Get your tickets now. Don't be left out. And it makes a perfect stocking stuffer for the food lover in your life. All right, let's go. We'll take our second break. We'll be back with more from Even Keel Las Olas after these words. People ask me about the best restaurants in South Florida. Casa D'Angelo is always at the top of my list. First-class dining, top-flight service, elegant atmosphere, and chef-founder Angelo Ilia is legendary. The flagship in Fort Lauderdale has been serving the finest Italian cuisine since 1997, with other locations in Boca Raton and Aventura. As Angelo himself says, they have an unwavering commitment to unparalleled quality with meticulous attention to details. It's so good with house-made pastas, pristine seafood, unique meats like elk chops and bison, and seasonal specialties including fragrant fresh truffles from Italy. All locations open 7 days for dinner. Reservations recommended for a special occasion or any occasion. Casa de Angelo. Tell them Mike Mayo sent you. If you're looking for an exquisite sushi experience, Kaizen Sushi Bar and Grill in Fort Lauderdale is the place to go. 5640 North Federal Highway, just north of Commercial Boulevard. Chef owner Hui Lam, he's a sushi savant, slicing and serving pristine fish and seafood flown in directly from Japan and around the world. Nigiri, sashimi, special rolls, and omakase dinners. He's ruined me from going anywhere else. It's that good. Open 7 days for dinner and also for lunch. Even if you're not a sushi fan, they have great cooked options, including steaks, chops, rice and noodles, and other Japanese dishes. It's fantastic. For reservations and information, go to kaizenflorida.com. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. A little further inland, Luke's Seafood and Grill. That's Luke's with a C, 5511 South University Drive in Davie. Luke and Roxy, they're a great couple with great food. It's a mom and pop shop bringing the freshest fish and seafood to Western Broward. Some of the best jambalaya and fish cakes around. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? You can find his famous Scoobies, those sauteed crab claws, right there on the specials board most days. Oh, so good. So take a trip to University just north of Sterling today. Lunch, dinner closed on Mondays. Tell them Mike Mayo's Lunchbox sent you. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox, Even Keel, Las Olas, 1111 East Las Olas Boulevard. It is the place to go on the boulevard for the freshest and most creative seafood offerings and more. All right. Guess where I went for happy hour yesterday, gents, after the Southport show on a Monday night?
Well, it was Monday. I mean,
to watch the Met game.
No better place than Tropical Acres, it feels like.
Tropical Acres, and met some really good folks at the bar, including a guy from a couple that is from Buffalo. He has like a pizza place and a beef on weck truck in Buffalo, of all things. And I was talking about beef on weck, but they love Tropical Acres. They bought a condo here in Fort Lauderdale, and they made their way out there. Somebody told them about it a couple of, I guess, maybe a year or so ago, and they've fallen in love ever since, because how could you not love Tropical Acres with the value, the pricing, the Twin Lobster special? They got a whole bunch of happy hour bites along with a half price bottle of wine on a Monday night, and it's Tuesday. You still can get a half price bottle of wine tonight. And I loved it because Tony, the newest bartender there, somebody came up and asked for a glass of wine, and it would have been like $10 a glass. And basically Tony said, you don't want to get 2 glasses of this. It's half price wine night. You can buy a whole bottle for like $18. And he actually,
But he offered it
he
though.
pointed it out. Like
Yeah,
a lot of
same.
places wouldn't say a word and just
Here's
take,
4 glasses.
Here's 4 glasses for $40. And said, no, they want people to be happy because that's what the Studiali family is all about. Hospitality, making people feel good and satisfied. And that way they'll want to come back again and again. 2500 Griffin Road. Don't forget they are offering their Thanksgiving dinner as usual all day Thanksgiving Thursday. Get your reservations in now. 954-989-2500. 954-989-2500. We love Tropical Acres. And last night I tried a new item there.
Okay.
It was an American Wagyu 16-ounce boneless ribeye.
Ooh.
And it was well seasoned and mighty well marbled and tasty. Oh,
Nice.
It was good. Me and Val split that, and very, very satisfied. You know me, I don't like to always try the new things there. I got my tried and true, but they are definitely getting in some new cuts of meat. And another thing we respect about Jack and Joe and the whole crew there. All right. Brad had to go, he big timed us. He's gone off to film
do TV.
Deco Drive, which is fine, but we love these guys. They have been such good, loyal sponsors to us. And again, if you have not been to the Las Olas location, what are you waiting for? Come check it out. All right, back to the ball games. And Defo, before Brad sat down and started talking food, we were talking about, you said somebody that has a rooting interest or a financial interest, or I forgot where we were. I'm going all Trump now. I'm trying to do a weave, and I feel like just dancing instead. That's it.
No, I'm not sure.
All right. His friend has the parlay. That's a ridiculous parlay that he literally at the beginning. I think he picked the college football champion. I think he picked like the NBA. He had the Celtics
and the NHL.
He had the Panthers, and then he had the Dodgers before the year.
Yeah.
And he's actually lingering still with the Dodgers right now. And then on top of that, he's like, you know what? Let me do the same. He did, I guess, another one where he threw the Ravens in 2 on top of that to win the NFL championship.
Who do you have to win the WNBA finals?
I don't know if he went that far. He's not Sarny.
Get involved in that. Yeah.
He did a major sport.
Which brings me to my Sunday Sarny story at Rico's Pizza Place, which has become his new hangout. And he is enthralled with the tavern-style Stamford, Connecticut pizza that you find at Rico's, the hot oil pizza, very thin. It's like matzo pizza, back when they had matzo pizza at the old pizza loft. I like it, but I got bounced out of a poker tournament on Sunday, and before heading back home, I was up in the Pompano area because I was at the Pomp, your stomping grounds, and I knew Sarny would be over there, and sure enough, found him there. He was watching the end of the Pats game. They took a drubbing, and he was encouraged. He goes, well, at least they scored some touchdowns today. I was like, okay.
It sounds like me as a Dolphin fan.
But I sat down. I had some of the wings there. They have baked wings, not fried, a little bit healthier, and they were really good. They have a couple of good sauces, including this Nashville hot sauce, a little sweet heat. But anyway, I'm sitting next to Sarny. He's peppering me with all kinds of questions about my new living arrangements, and I'm just doing my best to keep eating and pay him no attention. But when the Pats game ended and it was kind of getting into the 4:00 games, he asked Stephanie, who is the co-owner with her husband up there at Rico's, could you put on the Lynx Liberty game? And I was like, that's it. I draw the line. I'm sorry, Sarny. I got to go.
On NFL Sunday. Well, but he did explain to us yesterday morning that they had 10 TVs, and it was during the 4:00 games, and there's only 3 or 4 games.
Right.
So that's what the explanation for. Now, I'm not going to lie. I feel like even then the bar was like, what are you talking about? They're not used to putting on WNBA games in the middle of NFL Sunday.
No, and I don't think anybody else in the joint particularly cared, but nor did they want to see it. But, you got to make Sarny happy because otherwise he'll start writing up some mean tweets. He has mean notes in his notes column. Although he is the king of esoterica, some of those notes about the 100 raccoons that showed up on the ladies' lawn in Washington, D.C.
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know what prompted 100 raccoons to show up on a woman's lawn, but
I'm just on credit.
Where he finds these tidbits, I don't know. What else? Oh, besides all the other events I mentioned, I forgot to mention tonight I'm doing some judging if I'm able to remain upright and conscious. The Boca Bowl, which takes place in December at the FAU Stadium. They have an annual tailgate chefs food competition. They hold it up at that former IBM campus in Boca Raton. I think there's still some tickets left, $45 or $50 at the door. If you want to go show up at the Boca Raton Innovation Campus there, it's right off of, I believe, Yamato Road. And it's going to be a nice assortment. I think about 30 restaurants and also breweries. There's a beverage competition and a food competition, and I've got to eat 18 dishes.
Oh, Jesus.
And considering my overall state, I'm betting on me
The under.
the under. I might be running off to the restrooms. In any event, so that's the Boca Bowl. I don't know. You know what? I was kind of talking with the one of the organizers, and she works with ESPN because I guess they're one of the sponsors of the Boca Bowl now.
They air it. Yep.
And I was saying, I bet when you started this year, you never thought that you might land FSU, only if they qualify as bowl eligible.
Yeah, honestly, we'd hope to get to the freaking Boca Bowl.
That might be a possibility. What's the number of wins that you guys need?
It used to be 6. I know they switched it during COVID to 5. I still think I don't know. I'm not expecting them to make a freaking bowl. I'm not worried about that. I mean, they were in the play. They should have been in the playoffs last year. So, but yes, the Boca Bowl is definitely. I haven't been to it, but they've actually done okay. They've gotten decent matchups the last few years. So, good for them.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But meanwhile, the food part of it, they always do it a couple of months before just to get everybody into the spirit. And they have all kinds of the FAU Owlie, I guess, is their mascot. We should invite Ken, professor, along because I know his love of mascots, and you would love to kind of chug down some beers with Owlie. That's it. Do we have one more break
We
to
do.
take? Yeah, all right, let's take
And I'll
that
see if Dave
break.
wants to come on.
Yeah, no, I mean he's busy prepping, but that's fine. We'll take that last break, and then we'll see what we get led to next right here on a Tuesday edition of the Lunchbox from Even Keel Las Olas. Freshest fish, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market, located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, open 7 days. Since 1951, a South Florida tradition for stone crab in season, Thanksgiving turkeys, holiday feasts, and everyday eating. Great steaks, house-made sausage, and prepared foods, too. Delaware is not just a market, it's a celebration of taste, quality, and old-fashioned customer service with a smile. Sign up for their weekly email flyer at DelawareChicken.com and tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a great bagel with lox, matzo ball soup, deli sandwich, and rugelach, you know where I go? Grandpa's Restaurant in Dania Beach. It's a South Florida institution since 1957 that was revamped a few years back by a pair of New York bagel baking legends. Full deli and appetizing case with spreads, salads, and platters for takeout and catering. Grandpa's is near Federal Highway just north of Sterling Road, open 7 days for breakfast and lunch. Go eat and enjoy. It's Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. A sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. Even Keel Las Olas. Look who showed up. Chef partner Dave Lennon. Great to see you.
Likewise,
and,
as always.
You're hopping. You got a lot of stuff going on. You're talking about tomorrow night. You got a tequila dinner in conjunction with the upcoming tequila festival. Right?
Yep, yeah, with the Sunset Tequila Festival. Got a little dinner tomorrow night with Tanteo Tequila. They were kind of like the original jalapeno tequila producer, which they actually do a really nice job with it, where it's not like essence of jalapeno. It's the liquor's like got a little green hue to it from real jalapenos. So they were kind of the
that makes a good watermelon jalapeno margarita, I imagine.
Yeah.
And so is it a sellout, or is there still any kind of ticket availability left?
Yeah, it's totally sold out. Yeah, we do. It was kind of a sponsorship thing with the with Tanteo.
Brand, right?
So they're the ones that kind of putting the whole thing on.
The festival itself, we're talking about all kinds of events today. I think it's coming up on November 2nd, Saturday.
Yes.
And, this is the weirdest doubleheader that I do all year. Is I am a judge. I've
you're still doing the sober thing?
years. Taste of Recovery takes place from basically, I think it's 4 to 6:30 p.m. That's up in Boynton Beach there's a German festival grounds up there, which is a really cool venue. But it's basically the Taste of Recovery. It supports the recovery Crossroads. Crossroads is kind of a place, a gathering spot where people, who are in recovery, and they have AA meetings and NA meetings. I think they even have some GA meetings for me and Tifo, but but it's a great event. But there's no beer or wine sold. But I go from that, and I do the judging, and I go straight to the Tequila Festival down in Meisner.
I'm sure you don't talk to anybody about that there.
No, and it's the order is very key. You want to definitely do the Taste of Recovery first. You don't want to do the Keel event and then go. But anyway, both of them taking place on November 2nd. It's going to be a busy and good day. It's also second day of the Breeders' Cup. So thank God for betting apps. I'll be able to plunge away on all the big horse races.
What I think is cool, you guys do a lot of these events, right? Like whenever I go around town, I'm there. Sometimes I see you guys. Whenever it feels like there's only so much you can do, but it does seem like to be a good way to get the word out. Like, what do you find when you do these events? Do you think it comes back to you guys?
I hope so. I mean, it's kind of one of those things, just like advertising, traditional advertising, right? Like,
you never know.
You never know what you're getting from putting it on a magazine ad, but your goal is like, okay, you've seen our name 9 times. Like, maybe I should go there at this point. You just kind of put it in people's minds, and obviously, to me, those are better than doing like a magazine ad, just because people get to actually try something.
You interact with them, and they'll say, "Oh wow, this is really good. I want to come down there."
There's testimony to what it is because you're actually eating it. So,
and you guys are really good about doing off the not only with the soup, but when everyone's eating one kind of food. I remember you guys were doing like oysters.
Right.
No one else was doing oysters at the Tequila Fest.
Yeah,
and
you don't want to
and I felt like people were like swarming you guys. So you would think that would resonate a lot more than some of the other things people do.
Totally, yeah. And then we've got the South Beach Seafood Festival.
Yeah, no, Brad was talking about how he had a big time us and go off and do his segment with Deco Drive because you're going to be battling it out with the Rusty Pelican in a couple of weeks.
So I guess they're like 4 or 5-time winners. So
that's good. No, and I think it's wise to get down there because people in Miami do come up.
Well, they travel,
and they will once they taste some of your fine cuisine, I'm sure they'll want to check it out. You get your name out there
again. That's what it. If we can, hopefully we can pull off the win with them. Knock them off the champion. They're 5-time reigning champion, and that's you can always use that to our advantage for sure. So.
That's all good. Yeah, well, good luck.
Hopefully October's. We're ready for October to be rock and roll. It's kind of like feast or famine. Like all of a sudden, the next 3 weeks.
Oh,
my God, there's so much going on. Like
the roads
what happened all summer?
The roads are getting filled up, and Stone Crab season begins. The boat show. Do you guys see a lot of traffic or?
Not as much in Lauderdale by the Sea. Some, I mean, just people that are probably staying down there to go to it, overflow. But this is our first year here with the.
So hopefully you'll get a good.
We hope so, yeah. And we're gonna have some presents down there this year too. I'm gonna be doing a little cocktail at the Broward Design Center's booth.
Okay, great. So you'll be present at the grounds of the boat show. They still hold it around Bahia Mar and all that stuff. Yeah. And again, I know a lot of the people that are in town in the industry, they do stay here in hotels along Las Olas and 17th Street, and people do come up and check out all the restaurants here. So I'm wishing that it's nothing but a big boon for you guys.
It should be. It's the beginning of the season, hopefully. So.
Yes.
Stone crab's usually kind of the mark for us. That's we start seeing a little increase just because there's
people can come in and get their little taste. And Brad was telling us your philosophy about not, you don't make too much. It's almost like a lost leader. You just want to give people a chance to get it because they're looking for it.
Yeah, they're so expensive now. It's crazy. It just.
They're priced by the carrot.
I know. I remember a couple years ago, right before COVID, it was they were really reasonably priced for a while there. And I mean, it's supply and demand, right? But that's right after COVID. And you'd think there would be more plentiful when we had the whole year off of not harvesting crab, but they like doubled in price still, and it's like it just stayed there.
The other reason I heard about it is not just because of the increased demand and the supply kind of started going down with just natural ebb and flow, but something fascinating was that a lot of the fishermen and the crab trappers started using their traps to get Florida lobster instead, because the Chinese market
they buy
in
it all.
China and Hong Kong go crazy for the Florida lobster,
right?
And that it was more cost effective and more profitable for them to just start
for the same
fishing
thing.
for that,
Like the
so
guys
that
are not-
just nobody was trying to pull up stone crabs. They
Right.
were all selling lobsters to
Right.
the Chinese and in Hong Kong. So that I didn't realize until
I heard that a couple years ago too.
Yeah, so
this will be an interesting year too, just because all these guys didn't have traps in for. Normally they want to have traps in for at least 10 days before they pull them, but 2 hurricanes back to back. So most of those guys didn't even drop traps till a couple days ago.
That's on the Gulf side, from Marco Island up
Yeah.
north. But fortunately, a lot of people, I don't know where you guys get
Keys,
Vinny's,
Key West,
Keys.
yeah.
So down in the Keys, that's not really impacted.
Well, he was saying they were the same thing. They were.
They were.
They did. Well, nobody knew where it was going to come from or where storms were going, and so they didn't want to put traps in there. When the storms blow over those traps, they're just destroyed, and they lose all that.
All right. So in other words, we're screwed. Well, I like snow crabs too. And,
it's probably just their way of like easing us into the price. Like, they're not going to be plentiful.
All right. Well,
ready.
but it still is. October 15th is always a happy day on the calendar. It means that we are almost out of the storm season, and we're almost into snowbird season and crowds.
Good for the restaurants.
It's good for the restaurants, and that means
the locals don't like the traffic, but
we'll deal with it.
I deal with it.
It's all good. Before we let you go, and I know you're busy, I guess you've been tweaking some things on the menu here, and came in a couple of weeks ago, and I was just blown away by some of the new menu items. You got those like the Thai coconut mussels, and that was great.
Yep, those are awesome. We've got the little crispy rice that you guys had earlier today, and that's kind of a little fun little dish for us. I mean, obviously we're gonna be changing things up with the seasons as we normally do, and then we just as chefs we always like to have fun, right? We got to be doing something to keep ourselves stimulated. We always have our staples that are your regular everyday items that you can come and love to expect, but I think a lot of people like to see a little bit of change here,
a little variety, and I love seeing the arroz con pollo. The
that's a great call.
Yeah,
and it was with the rice that has the what's the fancy stuff?
Saffron,
which is expensive.
It is.
Right?
Saffron's very expensive.
But it gives it a great.
A little
flavor.
goes a long way, though.
Yeah. It gives a great flavor, and that's a great. I love the dish. I thought totally delicious, and something for people who don't necessarily love seafood or come in and get a bunch of fish dishes along with the seafood.
Well, that's always what it is. There's always people that don't.
Yeah.
Can't eat seafood.
But you don't want them to feel outcasted, so that's perfect.
It's all good here at Even Keel Las Olas. If you've never been here, come check it out. Obviously, the beach location, you've been there for a while, I love, but this one less than a year. And it is really the hidden gem of Las Olas, but it's not hidden. It's right here.
Let's make it not hidden anymore.
Yes. Come on out. All right, Dave,
Cheers.
a pleasure as always.
Likewise.
Good to see you. Good luck with all the dinners. Good luck
All right.
with the tequila. Try
Appreciate
not to
it.
drink too much.
Got to sample the wares.
And tomorrow we're going to be celebrating a big birthday. Mike Luby
It's not big,
Lubitz.
it's depressing.
Oh,
What's
It is
the
a
number?
birthday,
42? 42? Is that's not
It's
even
all right.
Tom Seaver. 41 was Seaver.
I don't
right?
know who's
Who's
wasn't
42?
Jackie Robinson 42?
Okay, that's a good.
No sober October.
no.
October's about the worst. I have my girlfriend's birthday was on Sunday, and we have like 4 friends in our group that their birthdays are in October. So I'm like, I drink more in October than.
So that's like a thing people don't. I was like,
So yeah,
I don't have sober
October.
any month. Sorry.
Exactly.
Not down here.
Coming out to Even Keel. I mean, what do you guys have great drinks. I'm not going to pass that
All
up.
good. All right. Well, we'll
Appreciate
celebrate
it.
with a home show tomorrow,
Appreciate you,
but
sir.
then we'll make sure you get well taken care of for the birthday festivities.
Yes, sir.
Luby. All right. Well, that's going to do for today. Thanks so much to Brad,
Cheers.
Dave,
Thanks, Dave.
and we'll be back tomorrow. Until then, enjoy every crispy rice with tuna or salmon bite, and enjoy every sandwich.
Cheers.